Things going on tonight here at the ballpark. The jerseys that the players are wearing, and you may have seen it on my Twitter page at TODDOHAM, are Santa Claus themed. Matter of fact, got Santa Claus holding a jersey, just a model for you here tonight. And those jerseys are being auctioned off during the course of the game this evening, and we'll be giving you a telephone number that you can call in a little bit or text and place your bid on these jerseys. Now, not only do we have player jerseys tonight, we have coaches' jerseys, and even Nixon's jersey is being auctioned off tonight here at the ball game. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And, of course, all the money raised from that this evening will go to the Back-to-Back Foundation, our dear friend Bryce Long, who's going to sing the national anthem here in a little bit. And Bryce just came by the booth, and we're going to have him on a little bit later after he's done the anthem and catch up and find out what's going on with him in the music world down in Nashville. He's a pretty busy guy these days. And, of course, his annual Back-to-Back Foundation concert's coming up on July 9th. We'll talk about that some, too. But we have baseball to do in addition to all the festivities, and we'll go around the Ohio Valley League as the F&M Bank pregame show continues after this on News Radio WHOP. Anyway, we will have an F&M Bank spot for you here in just a minute. Let's go around the Ohio Valley League, and that is brought to you by the Barbecue Shack, offering catering and custom cooking. Visit them Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Barbecue Shack at 4687 Pembroke Road in Hopkinsville. Well, what happened in the league last night? Well, we can tell you that the Hoppers went on the road and played at the Louisville Jockeys and got a very impressive win, 14-7. That looks more like a football score than it does a baseball score, but that's what it was, 14-7. Franklin shut out Du Bois County 6-0. It was Paducah defeating Owensboro 2-1 in 10 innings, and full count rhythm over Muhlenberg County 5-0. Now tonight, in addition to this game, the Louisville Jockeys in full count are playing as we speak up in Louisville. Henderson is at Owensboro, and Fulton is at Muhlenberg County. Now, the standings look a little something like this. Henderson at 17-4. They've won 8 of their last 10. Du Bois County, 11-11. They're 6.5 back in the north. Madisonville at 10-12 is 7.5 back in the north. So is Muhlenberg County at 9-11. Owensboro at 9-15, 10 games back. And the Louisville Jockeys are in the basement, 10.5 back. They are 6-14. In the south, Franklin leads the way at 15-6. They have a 2-game lead on full count, who's 13-8. Fulton at 10-9 is in third place, 4 games back. The Hoppers are in fourth at 5.5 back at 10-12, and Paducah brings up the rear. They are 7-14. Now we can tell you, you'll see tonight in this game, the number 2, 3, and 4 batting average leaders in the Ohio Valley League. You'll also see the number 1 and number 3 RBI man in this game in the league. You'll also see the guy who is tied for second in home runs in the league, and also the number 2 stolen base man in the league. And we won't give all of it away right now, as we will talk about it during the course of the game. When we come back, we'll tell you about the pitching matchup for tonight as we continue on the F&M Bank pregame show in a moment on News Radio WHOP. Have Bo Kaufman on the mound tonight, and he is, from what we understand, a new player to the roster for the Miners. As a matter of fact, as we grab the Miner roster and take a look at it, he's out of Louisville. He's a right-hand pitcher from Wabash Valley College. Garrett Blevins will take the bump tonight for the Hoppers, 2-1 on the year with a 5.47 earned run average. Now, these teams played once early in the season at Madisonville. It was a 12-8 win for the Hoppers back on June 7th. All time, the Hoppers lead the series 46-28. And it's interesting to note the 46 wins against Madisonville are second most by a Hopper team against an OVL member. The record is 47, and that is against Owensboro. And here in Hopkinsville, the all-time series 25-13 to the Hoppers, including 11-7 here at Hopkinsville High. And at Madisonville, it's 21-15, the Hoppers leading that. And if you remember in the early days of the Hoppers' existence in the Ohio Valley League, their opponent tonight was known as the Madisonville Tradewater Pirates. They used to play games in Dawson Springs and in Madisonville before making the move to Madisonville several years ago. Well, the Hopper team in their Santa Claus jerseys are getting a picture taken down on the field right now. You'll probably see that on social media a little bit later. And they are cute, and they're fun jerseys. And as we say, folks, bid high and bid often on these jerseys tonight, as all the money raised will go to the Back to Back Foundation. That is the F&M Bank pregame show. More pregame information, stats, stories, starting lineups, and the play-by-play coming up from Tiger Field on News Radio WHOP. Again for Hoptown Hoppers baseball. From the perch on the deck at Hopkinsville High School, Todd Hamilton welcoming you to another edition of Hopper Baseball. And tonight the Madisonville Miners are in town for the only time this season. So a beautiful night it is for baseball, and as we've mentioned in the F&M Bank pregame show, it's Country Christmas. We're going to bid on jerseys. Bryce Long's going to sing the national anthem coming up, and we're going to have a lot of fun at the ballpark. Bryce is even going to come up and visit with us in just a little bit. Our game time weather brought to you by Solly Office Supplies at 805 South Main in downtown Hopkinsville. For all your office supplies, office furniture, and more, call them at 270-886-9315. It's a gorgeous evening, sunny and 77 degrees, and winds are out of the south at 9 miles an hour. Starting lineups and more as we continue in a moment from Tiger Field as you listen to Hopper Baseball on News Radio WHOP and WHOPAM.com.
McAfee Electric. Leading off in right field, number 1, Red.
If you're ready, here are the starting lineups tonight. Brought to you by Riken Elastomers. Join the Riken Elastomers team today with starting pay at $17.50 and an excellent benefit package. Call 270-475-2150, extension 214 to learn more. For the Madisonville Miners, they come in at 10 and 12. It'll be Evan Little to lead things off at short. Luke Mitchell will DH and bat second. Jackson Lindsay in right field hits third. Jackson Owen, the first base, bats fourth. It is Ryan Wallace in left field hitting fifth. James Basham at third base hits number 6, with Parker Stroh catching and batting number 7. Kobe Jones in center field bats number 8. Gavin Kriegel bats 9th and plays second base. And on the mound making his first appearance of the season is Bo Kaufman. Well, we are about to have our national anthem performed here, so we'll wait to do the Hoppers lineup in a moment. And let's join the PA announcer, Scott Colley.
As we'll have Bryce Long, Hopkinsville native, country music singer-songwriter, to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Wonderful rendition there by our dear friend Bryce Long. Bryce is going to be up to join us here in the booth in just a little bit. Let's do the hopper lineup. Ren Tachioka in right field will start it off. Joshua Rodriguez will bat second and play short. Luis Vergara in left field will hit third. Ron Brown at first base in the cleanup spot. Drew Donaldson at second will hit fifth. Freddie Fernandez will DH and hit sixth. Jacob Dupes at third base bats number 7. Will Spear will catch and hit eighth. Anthony Zarlingo bats ninth and center, and Garrett Blevins on the bump tonight for the Hoppers. Well, we're getting several first pitches thrown. Bryce just threw one, and now Santa Claus is going to throw one. And then I think Brad Wagner, the birthday boy today, and his frog, from All Clean Services and AKS Flooring and Design Center, AK is going to throw a first pitch. Let's see what the frog can do here. Got to get the frog lined up just perfectly to make that first pitch. Good try, AK. But anyway, we've got baseball, the Hoppers and the Madisonville Miners coming up here momentarily. So let's run through the statistics for our starting pitcher tonight, Garrett Blevins, 5.47 ERA, 2-1 on the year. This will be his 7th appearance and 4th start, 24 2/3 innings, 33 hits, 15 runs, all earned, 8 walks, 23 strikeouts, has given up 2 home runs, and teams hitting at .314 against him. And everybody's singing happy birthday to Brad Wagner. Garrett Blevins out of Schererville, Indiana, and Wilmington College takes the bump tonight for the Hoppers here. As a matter of fact, he pitched 3 innings when these teams played the first time back in Madisonville, struck out 5, no runs or hits, no walks, and did not give up a home run in that 12-8 win, and that was back on the 7th day of June. And Garrett's mates in the field tonight are as follows. You've got Luis Vergara in left, Anthony Zarlingo in center, and Ren Tachioka back in the lineup after a couple of nights off in right field. Jacob Dupes, Joshua Rodriguez, Drew Donaldson, and Ron Brown third to first, and Will Spear will be the battery mate. Our umpires, Patrick Jeter behind the plate, Wayne Seeley and Micah Holman working the bases. Opening pitch coming up, brought to you by Gary Keaton, Christian County, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Visit Gary and the staff today at 2405 Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville. Always a great night here, and we will get the bidding started on the jerseys here in a little bit. But right now we're going to play baseball as Evan Little will start things off for the Madisonville Miners.
Shortstop number 21, Evan
Little out of, excuse me, Little out of Madison, Alabama, and the University of Montevallo, hitting at .389, no homers and 14 batted in. First pitch at 6:30 is ball 1 to Evan Little. 1 ball and no strikes. Little did not play in the first meeting. Here's a bouncer to the right side. Ron Brown will flip to Blevins covering. 1 away here in the first inning. 3-1 on the putout if you be scoring with us. And the batter now will be the designated hitter, Luke Mitchell. We've got to do greetings and salutations, and we'll do that here in a minute. But right now, we want to tell you about Luke Mitchell, a .305 hitter with 3 home runs. And he has driven in 8 on the year for the Madisonville Miners. And the first pitch from Blevins is ball 1, low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. To Luke Mitchell. And here's the next pitch, a bounding ball near the bag at second. No problem for J-Rod. That's just another night in the office for him. 2 down. 2 up and 2 down in the first, and Jackson Lindsay will be the hitter now for the Miners. This game is off and cruising very nicely here.
37,
Jackson Lindsay's out of Russellville, Alabama, and the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Here's a little trivia for you. A former Western Kentucky University football player and coach is from that city. We'll get to it when we get some time. Ground ball to the right side, bobbled by Donaldson, and Lindsay is on with 2 outs. And that'll be scored as an infield hit for Lindsay. Jackson Owen, the hitter now. I told you we're sprinting here at the start. Whoa. Out of Starkville, Mississippi, and Northeast Mississippi Community College, Owen hitting at 176, no home runs and a 1-run batted in. He did not play in the first meeting against the Hoppers. And the first pitch is in the dirt, but Will Spear able to block it for ball 1. Owen was 0 for 5 in Sunday night's 7-2 victory over the Muhlenberg County Stallions. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the first, and the next pitch is popped up. J-Rod near the bag at second. Backs up a couple of steps, makes the catch, and the inning is over for Madisonville. In the top of the first, 1 hit and 1 man left. We've played a half inning of baseball and on the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center scoreboard. And I got to give Mark Stevens some props when I get a minute too, and greetings and salutations. After a half inning, Madisonville nothing and the Hoppers coming to bat.
Once again, a reminder, go over to that merchandise table.
To the bottom of the first inning, his mates in the field are Ryan Wallace in left, Kobe Jones in center, Jackson Lindsay in right, Jacob Dupes, Evan Little, Gavin Kriegel, and Jackson Owen third to first, and Parker Stroh will be his battery mate behind the plate. We got to get the man a good stool if he's going to sit in the perch on the deck with us. Absolutely, get our national anthem singer in here, and we're going to visit with him here in just a minute. Of course, I speak of Bryce Long, and Ren Tachioka will lead things off for the Hoppers here in the home first. Tachioka from Satayama, Japan, hitting at 378 with a homer and 14 batted in. As we forementioned, he did not play in the game. Well, he did come in as a designated hitter last night up at Louisville. He went 0 for 1. And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome one of our favorite people. Let's get this first pitch in before we formally introduce him, as the Kaufman delivers a fastball to Tachioka outside ball 1. Country music singer and songwriter, back-to-back foundation founder, and my good buddy, Mr. Bryce Long. Good to have you up here in the booth, partner.
Yes, sir, Todd. I'm glad to be here.
And the next pitch to Tachioka is a strike, and the count is 0-1.
It's a pretty night, ain't it?
Beautiful night, isn't it?
Golly, it's gorgeous.
It always seems to be good weather when you come and sing the national anthem. I think you and the Chamber of Commerce may have a deal worked out. Just saying. Little windy, but we'll take that.
That's right.
Fastball is outside 2-1 to the batter, Ren Tachioka.
Well, y'all got a good crowd.
Nice crowd, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially since we're going to be auctioning jerseys tonight. And all the proceeds from the jersey sales are going to go to the Back-to-Back Foundation. Fastball outside the Tachioka, and it's now 3-1.
Yeah, man, I'm so thankful. I told Ted down there, just appreciative, so appreciative of what they're doing here, and let those proceeds go to Back-to-Back, because it's very well used in the communities. So I'm very thankful for him doing this. 3-1
pitch, here it is, and Tachioka takes a strike on the corner, and the string is out at 3-2. Now, some of our out-of-town listeners who may be bidding on jerseys tonight of their young men, I'm going to let you after this pitch tell us a little bit about the Back-to-Back Foundation for those who don't know about it. But right now, Bo Kaufman, kind of a funny motion delivers, and Tachioka fouls it back, and we'll do it again. So tell us if you would, and for those especially who are new to us, about the Back to Back Foundation.
Well, it's a foundation we started 18 years ago. Actually, Todd, it's been a while, and it's hard to even think about 18 years going by. But it's our main thing is to help families at Christmas time that can't have Christmas. We provide Christmas for families in.
Tachioka fouls another one, 3-2.
In the counties of Christian, Trigg, and Todd, 3 counties we serve here, and then, along the year, throughout the year, we have other opportunities to help out as well as we hear of need from families or individuals or other organizations that need things. We're here to help provide as much as we can.
Tachioka will foul another one off, and I may have a new county for you, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later.
All right.
You may have heard I have moved to Murray.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So we may have to talk about.
Now I'm up here. I get to learn more and more as I come to town.
Yeah. So
That's
we'll talk to you about that off air here in a little bit. What's going on down there?
Awesome.
3-2 pitch forthcoming here again from Kaufman, and Tachioka takes ball 4. This little guy right here, Bryce, I know you follow baseball a little bit as Joshua Rodriguez comes to the plate. When you watch him bat, Tachioka I'm talking about, he reminds you a lot of Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, he's from Satayama, Japan, plays at the University of Southern Indiana. Here comes now the number 2 hitter in the league, and Joshua Rodriguez out of Spring, Texas, outside of Houston.
All right.
Plays at Ranger College, hitting at .391, 3 homers and 24 batted in. We call him J-Rod for short. You've heard of J-Lo and A-Rod, so now we got J-Rod. Fastball up and in as Kaufman gives J-Rod a little chin music. He got the game-winning hit on Saturday night against Full Count Rhythm over at Bowling Green.
All right.
Fun ball player. Makes some great plays in the field. But, yes, I can tell you about – I have – attest to what Bryce has talked about with his foundation. They do so many wonderful things for folks at the holidays and other times during the year. I have said this privately to Bryce, and I'll say it publicly to all of you. Bouncer foul. When Miss Dana was sick last year, and we got a little gift from the foundation, and she was very touched by that, and I want you to know that.
Well,
and I've told you that privately, but now I'm going to tell it publicly.
Well, it's that's what we're here for. I mean, to help, where we can, and it's opportunities like that reason why we do it, Todd. I mean, in all honesty, like I said, our main goal is, of course, at Christmas time, but man, having the opportunity to help people in situations like that, man, that's just it really puts a smile on my face and everybody involved in it too. And we're very thankful to be able to do that due to this given community that we all, I'm from here, but I've lived here and grew up here, and very thankful to call this place home.
Last pitch was a strike to Rodriguez, and Tachioka was out trying to steal second. Ground ball to short. And here is Little over to Owen. Quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the first. And Luis Vergara, .306 hitter with 3 homers and 13 batted in coming to the plate.
I like the bat boy, Todd.
Nixon?
He is ready now.
I tell you.
Number 88 out there. He's getting it done, too.
Nixon has a great time. And as a matter of fact, his jersey is being bid upon tonight in addition to all the players. Nixon's jersey is being bid on as well.
That's fantastic.
And there may be a little something going on with that. Vergara hits the first pitch in the air to right, fairly deep right field. Oh. And this one is going to be long gone. Luis Vergara with a home run to right, and the Hoppers break out on top by a 1-0 score. That's home run number 16 allowed by Madisonville pitching this year, and Kaufman in making his first appearance. That's the first home run he's given it. And the Hoppers are all out of the dugout to mob Vergara, and here is the first baseman, Ron Brown. Young man out of Houston, Texas, heading to Texas Southern this fall. 6'5", 260, Bryce.
Man, big boy.
He looks like a lineman.
He sure does.
Pitching the dirt, ball 1. I said this the first night he was here, and I've said it a couple times since. I had the great fortune many years ago to watch the great Cecil Fielder take batting practice one day in Anaheim, California before the Tigers played the Angels. And when I watch him, I think about that day watching Cecil Fielder take batting practice. Here's a foul ball back 0-2 to Brownie.
That's pretty cool that he reminds you of him.
Yeah.
What a player.
But this guy is a lean, mean fighting machine, to borrow the line from the movie Stripes. He is all of that, boy. I tell you. Kaufman comes set with an 0-2, and Brownie will foul one back and stay alive. It's no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, 1-0. Hoppers lead here in the bottom of the first inning. What a gorgeous evening. My goodness, you couldn't have picked this any better.
You sure couldn't. Got a good little breeze. It's perfect.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of real hot nights up here on the deck.
I bet you have, Todd. It has been hot, bad hot over the last several weeks.
Well, I know in Nashville it's been rather warm like here, but one night we came off the deck and was drenched from head to toe. But boy,
I believe it.
It was good to get home and take a shower. Promise you. 0-2 pitch, here it is. Brown takes it in the dirt, and it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In addition, folks, to what we're doing here tonight as far as raising money, Bryce has got a big event coming up here July 9th that we're going to get into in just a second. But first, Kaufman ready with a 1-2 pitch to Brown. He comes set. Here it is, and Brown will foul another one off. We're going to be down at the Alhambra, and you're going to have some of your buddies in town with you.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good night. July 9th, we start at 7 o'clock. I've got some really great songwriter friends of mine. And for the first time in 3 years, I guess, we'll be full band back there at the Alhambra, which I'm really looking forward to because I love that place.
I have heard, as Brown takes up and in, from other performers who have played in there, how much they love the acoustics in the Alhambra.
It's awesome. I mean, man, they've done such a good job with the remodel and everything they've done to it. It sounds fantastic.
2-2 to Brown, and that pitch is low and away, and the string is out at 3-2. Now, for those who don't know, who you got coming with you that night?
I've got 3 songwriter friends of mine, James LeBlanc, his wife Angela Hacker, and Stephen Dale Jones. Now, this is my Muscle Shoals round is what I call it, Todd.
Okay.
They're all from Muscle Shoals, and we know, the legendary music that came out of that town.
No doubt.
So it's going to be a great round of, guys they've written for folks like Diamond Rio and Gary Allen and Travis Tritt and Reba McEntire. And I mean, it's just a lot of great songs. And these guys are all great performers in their own right. And Angela, I'll speak for her firsthand because she's one of my favorite female singers ever. And I'm so glad she's able to come this year.
And that's pretty impressive for you to say that she is one of your all-time favorite female singers, because there's a lot of great female singers, as you and I both know, in Nashville.
Absolutely. And she, I'm such a big fan of the Muscle Shoals music that came out there anyway, and she's got all that soul. I mean, all that soul that Aretha and all those girls had down there, man, she's got that stuff. And I love to hear her sing. And like I said, I'm just glad she's able to come because she and James work a lot together, and they had this this night earlier when I asked them open, and they just said that they would come, which is great. I'm very excited to have them.
Well, I know over the years that you have said when you talk to your songwriter buddies, it's not usually a problem unless they have conflicts in their schedule. When you say, I need you to come up and perform for back-to-back, they're all here.
Yeah, and they, I still, and they all ask about it too. I mean, it's not just they're gone, and right. Some of them have shopped for families. Todd, of course, our musicians have shopped for families, and other people that hear about it as well. And in what I do, a lot of people ask about it, and it's gotten to be the point to where I get introduced a lot of times, and that's what they talk about is the foundation, which is awesome.
By the way, Ron Brown struck out to end the first. The Hoppers had a run on a hit with nobody left. And here is Ryan Wallace out of Eastern Florida State College in Apollo, Pennsylvania, to lead off the second. He takes the first pitch from Blevins for ball one. 277 hitter, 2 homers and 6 batted in. Next pitch is a called strike. There are tickets still available, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Get your tickets for that event if you have the chance to come. And
PennyRoyalArts.org is where they can get online and get them. Todd. And yes, we want, last year we had just a huge crowd, and we want another one this year. It's been good.
Swing and a miss, and the count 2-2 to the leadoff man Wallace in the second. Hoppers lead 1-0. Yeah, I was looking at the seating chart the other day and noticed there's still lower level and quite a few in the balcony. So make sure you do that. And then there's always great silent auction items,
yes, sir,
that you can bid on that night as well.
Some cool things.
Here's a line drive to left, and it's caught by the left fielder Luis Figueroa, who had that home run in the bottom of the first. One out, James Basham. The third baseman is up now for Madisonville. Basham out of Atlanta and Young Harris College, hitting at .299 with 5 batted in. I keep up with you on Facebook and see you've been a number of places. You've had like listening rounds in Nashville and you've been out in a few places too, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been busy and it's good. I've been playing a lot. Was in North Carolina Thursday and yeah, it's been great. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff on the books for this end of the summer and all the way through fall. So, after, thank goodness, all this COVID stuff has calmed down, man, people really want to get out and see some music and listen to some music. And it's, we've been, been very blessed to be very busy.
Basham has 2 strikes on him. First pitch was a fastball strike from Blevins. He fouled the last pitch on. 1-0 Hoppers in the second inning of play. Here's a kick and a pitch, and here's a ball hit in the air to right, but Ren Tachioka has a beat, and that's 2 gone here in the second inning. Now, you just had a new song, one of yours, that you've released, and then your buddy John Party has just released one of your tunes too, right?
That's right. Yes, sir. It's he's got a new song out called Fill Her Up Again that I wrote with him, and then I went ahead and released the Some Nights, a song that George Strait cut of mine, and a lot of people had asked me about it and wanted to hear my version of it, so we went ahead and put it out.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great version. I've had a chance to hear it. Ball one is low and inside. Matter of fact, everything of Bryce Long's that's on Spotify is now on my personal list.
All right.
I can listen to you going down the road, man.
I like it.
Foul ball, 1-1 to count to the batter. Parker Stroh, 143 hitter, no homers and no runs batted in. One of these days, when you have one of these listening rounds in Nashville, I'm planning to get there.
I'm ready. We've been talking about it.
Absolutely. Here's a flare to right, and let's see.
Catch.
Tachioka comes up with
catch.
it. Holy Moses, what a play. Ren Tachioka with the sliding grab, and we'll put a star by that one in the color red, that's for sure. Nothing across from Madisonville. We'll go to the bottom of the second with the Hoppers leading 1-0 as we continue our chat with Bryce Long here. You got anything else new coming out? I know we just talked about John Party. You got any new songs that other folks are going to do?
I do. I have other things coming. I've got a new song on the new Randy Houser record that'll be out in November. Randy and I are really good friends. And he's been really good to me, cut a lot of my songs. And he's got a new record coming out that I've heard a lot of it, and it's really good. And he's still one of my all-time favorite singers. And it's always good to be a part of that and work with him. But I've had, several things come out this year, and I'm excited about. I got some stuff. There's a guy cutting tomorrow, and I don't ever like to jinx it, Todd. But
don't jinx it.
Guy cutting tomorrow that's got a couple things in his pile there to get to, and I hope he gets to both of them because I'm a fan of him as well. And it's been good. I've been very blessed, man. I'm thankful. Been able to have a lot of cuts on a lot of artists that I love and get to do what I love for a living. So it's been very cool.
Listen to this. Bidding has already started on the jerseys. We're going to give you updates. Let's see. A $500 bid for Zach Duenas' number 25 jersey already.
Wow.
$100 for Chase Harlan. $200 for Gavin Baxter. Now, most of these are 30 and 40, and there's a couple of 50s thrown in here right now. But even Nixon's jersey's got a $30 bid. And we had a couple of extra of the new black and the new red jerseys. I don't know if you've had a chance to see them, but they are pinstripe.
Oh, cool.
The red jersey is with black pinstripe and has hoppers on it with the number. And then the black jersey is kind of like what Vanderbilt wears.
Okay.
The black uniforms that they wear with the white stripes.
Absolutely.
And we've got that, and those are for $30. So bid high and bid often, and help the back-to-back foundation in the process, too.
That's fantastic.
Swing and a miss, strike one to Drew Donaldson, the second baseman for the Hoppers, leading off the second. 233 on the year, no homers, and 20 runs batted in. Stitch's jersey's even got $30 on it. Todd may have to bid on that one before the night's over. Ball one, 1-1 to count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bryce Long visiting with us, our good buddy. Just did a beautiful job of singing our national anthem before this game. Curveball is inside. It's 2-1 now. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. Hoppers up 1-0 on the home run by Luis Vergara in the bottom of the first inning. Kaufman ready with the next. And that's a fastball up and in. And it's 3 balls and a strike. I always do greetings and salutations, Bryce, before the game. And I forgot earlier, so I've got to do them. And I got one I want you to help me with here in just a second, because I got a young lady who has become a very dear friend of mine. Actually, we knew each other many years ago in high school, and we have reconnected after 40-plus years.
Oh, man.
So, Melanie, I got somebody here that will say hi to you. Go ahead, Bryce.
Hello, Melanie.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I guarantee you she's blushing right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We knew each other in high school. She was a senior and I was a freshman.
Oh.
And we have reconnected after all these years.
That's fantastic,
and
Todd. Fantastic.
Are having a great time. But anyway, I knew I'd have to get a chance to do that. Here's a pop foul, first base side. And also, let me give some props to my buddy Mark Stevens out at the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center, the new general manager there.
Oh, fantastic.
He comes up before the game, and as you know, Chick-fil-A has been our title sponsor for many years.
Right.
And he says, I was thinking about you tonight when I was running through there, and I got you a peach shake. I said, appreciate it.
It helps to have friends.
Oh, boy, it does, doesn't it? You
Yes,
got that
it does.
right. You got that right.
Yes, it does.
1 strike to count to the batter, Fred Fernandez. Hitting up near the 300 mark, and here's another foul. Freddie at 298 with a home run, and he's driven in 13 on the year. Nixon getting his little workout
that Nixon
in.
is cool. I got to tell you, he's the real deal.
I tell you what, he is a fun young man to hang around with.
I like that kid a lot.
Those boys have more fun with him in the dugout. 0-2 the count. Pitch is low and away. It's 1-2. Yeah, he's got his own seat on the bus when they travel. He travels with them some, and
that's great.
He's got his own seat on the bus. Coach Gary Vaught made sure that Nixon had a seat on the bus.
He's pretty quick grabbing things, too, getting those bats out of there and balls.
Foul ball at the plate. 1-2 the count still to Fred Fernandez. Number 88. Bryce has got 39 on tonight.
That's right.
Now, that's the number you always pick, so that there has to be some reference to why 39.
It's really not. I mean, it's right before 40. I tell you what it is. It's 39 and holding, Todd.
Hey, I'm with you,
still
brother.
trying to think that I'm still 39. That's the reason.
Fastball's up and into it. Hey, I understand that.
You remember that song, 29 and holding.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
yes,
I'm 39
buddy.
now, Todd. That's the truth.
Well, what is it they say? 50 is the new 40,
That's
60
right.
is the new 50.
That's right.
2-2 to the plate.
I told him I was going to start going backwards now.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to count mine down the other way.
There you go. My good friend Jack Harbaugh, the former football coach at Western Kentucky, Jim Harbaugh's dad, used to tell me years ago, he'd say, the only ones after you get to a certain mark that count end in 0 and 5. That proves you're still around. 3-2 pitch inside for ball 4, and Fernandez walks, and back-to-back walks allowed here by Kaufman. And the Hoppers have 2 on and nobody out for the third baseman, Jacob Dupes. Dupes hitting at 279 with a homer and 6 batted in. So the back-to-back foundation I know is busy. You all are out busy learning of cases and different things to get ready for the Christmas season. And other things as well.
Yeah, it's like I said, we keep getting opportunities to help out, and which we're all very thankful for. We find great opportunities where people are in need, and we step in and do the best we can to provide what they need. then come in October, we start getting the families gathered up for what we're going to do at Christmas time, and we have such great help with the resource people here at the schools and at Trig and Todd and Christian, and it just gives us a great opportunity to find those families that really need it, and we have an opportunity to visit with them, and see what their needs are, greatest needs. And Todd, that way, Todd, we're not just buying blind, trying to say, well, I hope they need this.
Yeah.
They give us we get a list from them, what they need, what sizes, all that kind of stuff for the kids, and we tried as well to give them, something the kids really enjoy too, as well, things that they, might like, whether it's music or hunting or art or whatever it is. We try to, sports, baseball, whatever it is,
sure.
That they're, very involved in and really like, then they get that as well.
2-1 is the count to the batter, Jacob Dupes. Runners at first and second. Nobody out in the home second. Hoppers lead 1-0. Kaufman's next pitch, and it's 3-0. I've had a chance over the years to watch some of the videos that these folks have done, and going to take Christmas to these families, and boy, they're very touching to watch. They really are.
Yeah, it's some of them will sure enough put some tears down your face.
Oh boy!
But everybody's so thankful too, Todd. That's what I love about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so often they say, no, man, we're good. It's not one of those things that they're just standing with their hand out. But the thing about it is often we've seen families turn around later on and want to give back to us, to give to another family. It's really a blessing to watch it happen.
Chopper to short, throw to second, they get it out there, throw to first, it's thrown away, run scores as Donaldson comes home from second to make it 2-0. Fernandez out on the fourth play, 6-4, Dupes aboard on a fielder's choice, and the hitter now will be the catcher, Will Spear, at 229 with 1 RBI on the season. Well, you can't do it without a lot of great people, and you have a lot of great people here that help you.
Do.
Our buddy Brent Gilkey, he is the man.
He is the man. He and Julie, they work super
Absolutely.
hard. I say that all the time, or at least I try to. It's this thing has been a blessing to all of us, and it's not about me. It's about everybody in the community and the people that give. And man, Brent and Julie have been so good to all of us to work with and work hard doing this. Dave and Carol Bug as well. Mm-hmm. Don and Barry Cornelius have been very helpful and worked so hard at this as well. And then again, once all the volunteers that have shot for families through the years wrapped, helped deliver, all that kind of stuff. It's just been a really cool thing to watch the communities all come together and help out.
1 strike to Will Spear. He fouls the next pitch off, and the count is 0-2. 2-0 Hoppers as we play here in the home second from Tiger Field. The voice you hear with us, our friend Bryce Long. We talking a little music, little baseball, a little back-to-back. We got the gamut covered up here. Strike
That's
3
right.
called as Spear is out on strikes, and that is out number 2. Kaufman's first strikeout, and Anthony Zarlingo will come to the plate.
I really just came up here, Todd, to listen to you call this game.
Oh, well, bless your heart.
Man,
Bless
you're
your
so
heart.
good at this. I know I tell you all the time, but I absolutely love to hear you do this, man. You are so good at it.
Well, as I have told you over the years many times, this seat's for you anytime you want to, even if you just want to listen. You just come on, man. We'll say hi to you, and then we'll just let you sit here and listen and enjoy.
That's awesome.
Pitches the ball low, and the count 1-0. One thing I want to do, and you and I have talked about this privately, I still want to come to someone's recording session sometime and sit in a recording session. That's just always been fascinating to me, being an audio guy like I am.
Right.
Strike called, and the count evens 1-1.
Yeah, it's cool to, I've done it so much, and you kind of get used to it, just going in and out and studios and stuff and working. But man, I can remember, actually getting to do the first recording that I ever got to do, and it's something to see it all go down and kind of watch it all come together.
Fastball strike on the outside corner to the switch hitting Zarlingo, batting left-handed. It's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 run in, Hoppers up 2-0, runner at first base. The pause in the pitch by Kaufman, and that's a swing and a miss, strike three. Zarlingo is out on strikes, and that will end the second inning. 1 run for the Hoppers, and they do it on no hits, no errors, 1 left, and the Hoppers have stranded 1. We're through 2 innings of play. On the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center scoreboard, your score is the Hoppers 2, Madisonville nothing. Let's pause a moment, and we'll come back and visit some more with Bryce Long. Yeah, I know you've done some television work over the years with rodeo and different things. I branched out a little this spring. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-2. I did about 10 baseball and softball games for Murray State on ESPN Plus.
That's perfect.
And part of the reason I moved to Murray is that role is getting expanded next year. Fly ball to center. Zarlingo drifting back near the warning track. He has it for out number 1. So I've had to learn how to do TV.
That's great. That's great.
And some other opportunities over there as well in the radio business. So Gavin Kriegel comes to the plate, 222 with a homer and 10 batted in. And the funny thing about doing television, the hardest thing I had to learn the first couple of games, I'd done television before, but it'd been a number of years. Here's a fastball up and in, or it's a strike on the corner, I should say, and the count 0-1 on the inside corner. You don't have to tell everything like you do on radio. We have to tell you every descriptive phrase that we can come up with, but on television they can see it. And you know that, having
Sure.
done some of the stuff you've done in the past. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Here's a ball lifted in the air to left, and it's going to be an easy play for
Well, these outfielders
Kriegel.
on this team are good, ain't they, Todd?
Tell you what,
Man.
we've got some fine players. Matter of fact, you mentioned that subject. The Hoppers coming into the night have made 45 errors. They've turned 7 double plays. But they had coming into the game 178 total putouts. I think that's right. Well, let me check that again. That might not be the correct number. 585 total putouts on the season. Back to the top of the order, and Little, who is the league's leading hitter. And the count is a ball, or 2 balls and no strikes make it. With 2 outs in the top of the third, Hoppers leading here 2-0. Checking the pitch. Strike called. And the count now is 2-1. Boy, it's turned in so beautiful. Here's a ball hit to the right side. Ron Brown, the first baseman, tells his pitcher he's got it. And Mr. Blevins has had himself quite a nice ball game here. He has retired 9 of the 10 men he's faced. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. And on the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center scoreboard, the score remains the Hoppers 2 and Madisonville nothing. Now, let's see if he does it. He's doing it a little differently tonight. He usually does like these. There he goes.
It is.
His little hip flexors. I swear that's Ichiro Suzuki written all over. First time I saw him walk to the plate, I said, we've got Ichiro. Kaufman's first pitch, a ground ball to third. It's an easy play for the third baseman, and one away here in the third inning as Tachioka retired on a ground ball to James Basham at third base. And here's Joshua Rodriguez. One place in Nashville I have not been, and I'm sure you've been there maybe. I still have not had a chance to go watch the Sounds play at the new park, but I have people tell me that it's just incredible.
It really is. They did such a great job on that stadium and I mean, it just looks fantastic. That field.
Fly ball to left. Actually, it's a pop-up. It's going to be caught by the shortstop. A couple of steps on the outfield grass. Little has it. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Vergara, who had that home run in the first inning. Yeah, on the new soccer facility, and NASCAR's back in Nashville, and you got the Grand Prix coming there.
It's crazy. We played the listening room during the CMA Fest on that Saturday night, and there was a soccer game, a Sounds game, CMA Fest, and other music stuff going on all over town. It was crazy how busy it was. But it's, I mean, and it's major stuff going on in that
Absolutely.
city.
Strike one, the count to Vergara as he takes a curveball inside. 2 outs in the inning, the pitch, and that's drilled in the air to left if it stays fair, and it will be a fair ball down into the corner, and it's going to be a ground rule double for Vergara. So he's halfway to the cycle now. As Vergara at second with 2 outs, and here's Ron Brown, who struck out in the first. Yeah, some of those bats, you talking about Nixon? Some of those bats are about lengthwise about as tall as he is.
They are.
But he gets it done.
Man, he's the best.
Kaufman still on the hill for Madisonville. The pitch on the way, and that's a curveball strike to Ron Brown.
I think I'm going to have to bid on Nixon's jersey myself, too.
Oh, hey, I would. Got a message here from my buddy Bob Rathman down in Atlanta, who does the television for the Atlanta Hawks, talking about showed a picture of the jerseys online. He thought they were pretty cool. Foul ball back, cool. And it's 0-2. And remember, folks, bid on those jerseys. Get on social media through the Hoppers and find out how you can bid on it. Well, like I said, we've got some high-priced ones already out there. And, of course, all the money will go to Bryce's Back-to-Back Foundation to help families in our area. The 0-2 pitch to Brown. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Well, the Hoppers leave a man at second and 1 hit in the inning, and that's the ground rule double by Vergara. And the Hoppers have left 2 and through 3 on the Holiday Inn and Suites scoreboard. Your score is the Hoppers 2 and Madisonville 0. Well, we're already to the 4th inning.
Goes by fast.
Boy, it does when you're retiring everybody. Luke Mitchell grounded to short his first time to J-Rod. As Blevins delivers, curveball misses ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Bryce Long with us in the booth. We always enjoy it when when Bryce comes by and visits with us. 1-0 pitch back through the middle, and that's a leadoff single. First base runner for Madisonville since an infield hit by Lindsey in the first inning. And the hitter now will be Jackson Lindsey, who had that infield hit to the second baseman Donaldson.
Boy, what a beautiful night.
Well, Bryce,
we keep talking about it, but it's beautiful.
I have a message for you, Bryce.
Oh, cool.
Melanie said, I said, so how did you like your hello? And she said, 50 shades of red, but very sweet. Good job, Bryce. Here's a bouncer to first base. Brown gets an out there. They throw to second. They get an out there. J-Rod puts the tag on Mitchell. 3-6 on the out for the second out. And the Hoppers turn their 8th double play of the year. You may have to come more often. You bringing some good karma to the boys tonight.
Oh, shoot, they got a good team.
Jackson Owen up now. Yeah, Coach Vaught seems to think, of course, we're getting right to the stretch here where teams start to make runs, and he feels like offensively we're in pretty good shape, and the pitching is coming around. So hopefully that will all bode well for the playoff run here down the stretch. Ball one and strike one to the batter, Jackson Owen.
When does the playoffs start, Ty?
July 21st are the play-in games.
Okay.
And then the first and second rounds in the championship. Here's a ball hit in the air towards center field. Zarlingo back on the warning track to make the catch for the out. Well, they're going to say the runner at first was safe a moment ago. So there's only 2 outs in the inning. Well, that messed up my double play, and that messed up my score sheet. Thank God for whiteout. Yeah, my buddy Bob Carpenter, who does the Washington Nationals, that was one of the first things he told me. He said, yeah, make sure you always have whiteout handy.
Keep that close to you.
Yep. And my buddy Bob Jameson, who did the Nashville Sounds for many years, he also always kept a bottle of whiteout nearby.
I had a typing class in middle school, and I think I used a carton of that stuff, Todd.
Oh, boy. You can go through it. I don't like the kind, they got the kind that you can, do
right,
it like this.
Right.
Here's a ball hit in the air to left by Wallace, deep to left field, but foul by inches. Strike one. All right, fielder's choice that will be for Lindsey as it goes back to first. Yeah, that stuff. Carpenter says, "Oh, that stuff's better," and I was like, "No, dude, I gotta have the real McCoy. Yeah, if we're gonna do that, yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it right." That's like people over here ask me, "So, well, why do you not do your spotting charts on computer?" I said, "I don't retain it as well." Mm-hmm. Here's a ball hit in the air to left center. That ball's in the gap. And that's going to be up against the fence. Lindsey will make the turn at third. He's going to try to score. J-Rod's throw is not quite in time. And it's a 2-1 ball game on a double by Ryan Wallace. So the Miners get a run as Wallace gets his 7th RBI of the year. And the Miners are back within a run at 2-1.
For the Miners, field number 36, Ryan.
Yeah, that's pretty good. She said 50 shades of red, not 50 shades of gray like that movie. Yes, sir.
That's good.
Yeah, we met, like I said, she was a senior in high school and I was a freshman, and she was the prettiest girl in the whole school.
Oh.
And this freshman actually had a crush on her, and she never knew it until a couple years ago, actually. Now.
All right.
1 strike to count to the batter, James Basham, who flied to right his first time. The pitch on the way, and that's outside, 1-1. 2-1, Hoppers lead. Tying run on second for Madisonville here in the 4th. Miners making their only appearance at Tiger Field this year. When you play the opposite division, you play a home and home. You play your division 6 times during the season. Foul ball, 1-2, and we're going to see full count from down in Hendersonville, Tennessee, in here on Thursday night. And that's a team, as you may know or remember, that the Hoppers rallied last Saturday night at Bowling Green Ballpark and beat 6-5. 1-2 pitch forthcoming. Here's a ball hit in the air to center. Zarlingo drifting back a few steps. He will make the catch. Runner will tag and head to third base.
Well, center's getting his work tonight, isn't he?
Boy, he sure is. Zarlingo gets the second out of the inning, as Wallace will take third on the play.
Batting third base number 7, James Basham.
And here is Basham now. I don't think that's right, Scott, but I'll go with you, buddy. And here's a pitch line to left field, and that is a base hit. So the game is tied at 2-2 now, as Basham gets a single to left. And Parker Stroh, the catcher, comes up now. Wallace scores to tie the game at 2. Here goes the white out again, Bryce. I tell you, we go through this stuff, man. I'll have to go back and catch my plays up here a little later. It happens. Promise you. Ball one is low and in the dirt. It actually hit the batter. So Parker Stroh hit by the pitch. And now runners are at first and second for the Miners. And Kobe Jones, flied out to center his first time, will come up. So Basham at second, Stroh at first. 2-2 our score. The pitch by Blevins. Curveball, outside, ball one. But again, we want to remind folks, get your tickets for the Back-to-Back Foundation event on July 9th at the Alhambra. They're on sale now.
That's right, PennyroyalArts.org.
Here's a base hit to center field. Runner around third's going to try to score. Here's a throw to the plate, cut off. And Madisonville has scored 3 times in the inning to take the 3-2 lead. As Stroh stops at second, RBI single for Kobe Jones.
We do still have tickets, Todd, but we don't want to have any come Saturday night.
Amen. So get your tickets now.
Don't forget, folks, it's Christmas. Everything at the merchandise table is $20.
And we've got Kriegel at the plate. He flied out to the center, to the left fielder Vergara his last time up. A little conference by Tim Crow at the mound. This gives us a moment to tell you about Chick-fil-A on Fort Campbell Boulevard, our title sponsor for Hoppers Radio.
And the maker of a fine peach shake.
Oh, boy, do they ever make a good peach shake. Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
Yep, thank you, Mark Stevens, for bringing us a peach shake tonight. Travis Martin brought Bruce and I both one the other night. Well, Bruce went away for a minute. But anyway, he said, be careful what you ask for. All I did was make the solicitation about the peach shakes were back.
And there you are.
Here you are. You got a peach shake. Ball
good.
One to Kriegel as it's outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
You need to tell them it's like they got new cars sitting out there at the car lot.
That's right. That's right. 2-0 the count. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's like getting a new guitar, isn't it, Bryce?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. 2 balls and no strikes. The kick, the pitch by Blevins. Here's a little tapper out in front of the plate. Blevins will field. He'll go to first in time.
Nice.
And they get the out there. Ron Brown stabs it and has it for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, Madisonville scores 3 times in the inning to take the 3-2 lead over the Hoppers. As you listen to Hoppers Radio on the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center scoreboard, we're going to the bottom of the 4th. Madisonville 3 and the Hoppers 2.
Nice place to sit up here and watch a game. I know that.
Tell you
and
what.
you know, over there at Colonel's Field too.
Yes,
it was
sir.
super nice last year.
Yes, sir.
You got a good spot, pal.
Somebody, I ended up getting it. Snapped a good picture of you and I over there last year.
Awesome.
I think it was Brent actually that snapped the picture. Here's Drew Donaldson to lead it off. He walked and scored in the second inning of play. Hoppers trail 3-2 as we play here in the fourth. And it is country Christmas night at the ballpark. Fastball is outside, ball one from Bo Kaufman in his first game with the Miners. 1 ball and no strikes. Little history lesson about the Miners as a ground ball hit to the right side, gobbled up by the second baseman. Kriegel on to first, 1 out. Donaldson retired, and here's Fred Fernandez. In the old days of the Kitty League, William T. doesn't have his radio on over there. That little corner, as I've told you before, where Mr. Turner and them sit.
That's right.
That is the first base historians. That's what we call them. And some nights William T. has got his radio, and some nights he doesn't. But tonight he does not. But I'm sure somebody over there will refer to that. But anyway, the Miners in the old days of the Kitty League, that was their name. When there was the original Hoptown Hoppers, they were the Madisonville Miners.
Huh.
Yep. Ball one is outside. Owensboro in those days was known as the Oilers. The great Tony Kubek, who played for the Yankees and later did television on NBC in the game of the week, played for Owensboro. And
Did he really?
Sure did.
I did not know that.
Early days, yeah.
Wow.
Strike one and the count 1-1. Yep, sure did.
That's really cool.
And the Fulton Railroaders were around in those days. There was a team in Mayfield. Paducah line to third. And Fernandez is out for the second out of the inning. And the Chiefs' name comes from what that team was known back in that era. Here is Jacob Dupes, who hit into a fielder's choice his first time.
Well, you can't beat Mr. T, though, can you?
Oh, he's the best.
He is the best.
Yeah, he and Miss Lavinia just had their 59th wedding anniversary a couple of weeks back.
That's so cool.
And she sends cookies up here about every night. Now, see, if you was around all the time, we have cookies.
I'd have 20 more pounds of what I'd have eating all that stuff. Mr. Turner was my teacher, and right after high school, I went to community for a year or two, and Mr. Turner was one of my teachers. I don't know if I learned anything, but I guarantee you I laughed a lot.
Well,
that guy is, man, we had some fun.
He's a great storyteller.
He's
There's
the best.
No doubt. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Fastball is low. It's 2-0 to the batter, Jacob Dupes of the Hoppers. Batting in the home fourth, trailing 3-2 to Madisonville.
I love him to tell the story about the Night Riders and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Man, it's just, he's such a great storyteller.
Pitches a strike in the count 2-1. Stitches has got his Christmas jersey on downstairs, we see.
He sure does.
Here's a drive in the left field on a 2-1 pitch.
Out.
It is long gone.
Yes, sir.
Tie ball game. Jacob Dupes with his second home run of the year and RBI number 7.
Man, what a hit.
That was fastball right down the gadget. And we are tied 3-3. And just as Jacob Dupes hits that, we get the new bidding on the jerseys. Let's see what we got here. Nixon's jersey's up to $100, Bryce.
My man.
Gavin Baxter's is $200. Zach Duenas still leading the way at $500. Chase Harlan is $100. J-Rod's jersey's at $35. Let's see. Good Pasture, the pitcher, $64. Ren Tachioka at $110. Foul ball, right side out of play. So bid high and bid often. I'm about to send word down and bid on one of these, either the black or the red jersey. Got to get that bad boy framed. Swing and a miss. It might fit. I don't know. We'll have to see. I've lost a little bit.
It'll fit.
It'll fit?
It'll fit.
We'll make it fit,
That's
right?
It'll fit.
There you go. 0-2 the count. 1 out as Will Spear at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. That's actually the third out of the inning, beg your pardon. And that will do it for the Hoppers in the fourth. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. Hoppers have stranded 2. We're cruising to the fifth, and after 4 on the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center scoreboard, your score, the Hoppers 3, Madisonville 3.
There's a lot.
Leading off for the Miners,
Hoptown Hoppers Baseball, presented by Chick-fil-A on News Radio, WHOP, and WHOPAM.com.
Evan Little leads off the fifth with a long foul to right field, and it's strike 1 to Little. He's grounded to first base in both of his at-bats tonight. 3-3 our score as we play here in the fifth. Now the pitch, low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryce Long is still with us here on the perch. I'm reminded of a major league pitcher that came up and sat in your spot one night up here on the perch. Fellow by the name of Mike Myers. He had 2 sons that played on the Hoppers. Here's a foul ball, third base side, and it's caught, or was caught, and then Dupes dropped it. So the count 1-2. But anyway, Mike had 2 sons, Christian and Daryl Myers, who played here back-to-back years. So Mike was in for a game, and they said, would you like to have him on? I said, sure. He came up. I thought, well, he'll stay an inning or 2. He was having so much fun, he stayed the whole game.
It's hard to leave, I tell you. That's the deal.
Well, like I've told you many times, that chair has got your name on it, pal. As long as you want it. Base hit to right by Little leading off the fifth. As Tachioka will come up with it out in right field. And here's Luke Mitchell. Had a single his last time up and has grounded out.
The DH number 2, Luke Mitchell.
3-3 our score on what is turned into a beautiful late afternoon Robin's Egg blue sky over Tiger Field.
Boy, you just don't get them much better than this.
Oh, man. In July, when it's 100, we're going to kill for some days like this sitting up here, pal.
You'll be
Trust
thinking
me.
Back sweating. Golly, remember that day we had up here?
Yeah, here's a foul ball out of play left side, strike 1. 1 strike to Luke Mitchell.
How many years is this, Todd?
This is the 10th year. Now, we lost a year because of COVID.
Right.
They did not play 2 years ago. So had we played, this would have been the 11th year. But this is the 10th season for the Hoppers.
Man, that's great. Like I said, I got a great crowd. This is fun.
Been averaging in the neighborhood of, let's see, I got it right here somewhere. I can tell you in just a second. Like about 340, 350, let's see, 341. Here's
good.
a pop-up in the air on the infield. It's caught by Donaldson, and that is the first out of the inning. 1 out as Mitchell retired, and here is Lindsey, who had a fielder's choice his last time up. Well, Bruce has returned. You had to take a little break, didn't you, Bruce?
I had to go bid on some jerseys.
Oh, you bidding on jerseys? Yeah, hey, we got some great bidding on jerseys. Did you see Nixon's is at 100? Nixon's is at 100.
Yeah, I know.
How about that? Here's a throw down to second, and the runner is safe on a stolen base as Little goes to second.
He went down and put in his order for one of them peach milkshakes, man.
He told Travis Martin, go get us a peach milkshake, buddy. Yeah, I'm a little jealous. Todd sitting up here with a peach milkshake. Yeah. Funny you mentioned the peach milkshake. I'll tell you a story in a minute. Here's a ball down or strike on the inside corner. So one night I was shilling for the peach shakes, you know. And Melanie says, I want a peach shake. I said, well, you got Chick-fil-A all over Bowling Green. You can go get you one. So I can't bring you one right now. I'm doing a game. 1-1 pitch. Low and away. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. And then when people bring them, I get this text, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Got one tonight. I showed her a picture. I said, look what I got. I'm jealous. There you go. 2-1 to the plate. Curveball is low and away from Blevins, and the count now 3-1. Garrett's gone all the way, as has Bo Kaufman for Madisonville. We're in a 3-3 tie in the 5th inning here at Tiger Field. On Country Christmas night, bid on the jerseys for Back-to-Back Foundation. Bryson, all the folks there do such great work. Swing and a miss, and the string is out at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We talked a little earlier about some of the musical things that are going on. You mentioned you had your song out. Is that Pitch's Ball 4? Have you got anything else in the hopper as far as like any albums or any more of your stuff that's coming out?
I do. I got asked to write the theme song for the PBR Professional Bull Riders Organization. They're doing teams now. They've started 8 teams of the top 40 bull riders, 5 on each team, and then 2 alternates as well. And Justin McBride and I are really good friends. He won it twice, 2-time PBR winner, but he's the coach of the new Nashville team. They're called the Stampede. Nashville Stampede, and it's one of 8 teams in the PBR team series, and they asked me to write the song that introduced them every night.
Oh yeah,
the Stampede. So we're going to put it out, and we're for people to hear it, and they use it in every event, and it was cool. It was something that was different, Todd. They asked me to do that. I was, wasn't like, trying to write for a radio hit for an artist. It was more about their team and the bull riding deal, and it was a lot of fun, man. I had fun doing it, and it turned into a really cool song that I'm proud of.
Here's a bounding ball right side. Donaldson to J-Rod 1, back to first, not in time. They don't turn the double play. Lindsey is out 4-6 on the force for the second out. Little moves to third, and it's a fielder's choice for the batter, Jackson Owen. Ryan Wallace, who had a double in the last inning that brought home a run, will come up now for the Miners. So, like, for example, if they were doing a video before the match and they had highlights, we would hear your song underneath that if we were attending.
And every night they introduce all the bull riders, and they'll do them as teams. At the team series, there'll be 10 different team series events, and as they all are introduced and walk out, they'll be playing that song for that as well. And when they have their event in August here in Nashville, they'll use it as a bumper going in and out of TV and that kind of stuff. So
that's awesome. 1 ball and no strikes as the first pitch was in the dirt. The next one, fastball missing low, 2-0. No activity for the Hoppers in the bullpen. We're in a 3-3 tie in the 5th. The Miners have 2 on and 1 out. Blevins delivers the next, and it's low. And the count now is 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Runners at first and third. Now the pause in the pitch. Strike called, and the count 3-1. Good fastball from Blevins. The 3-1 swing and a ground ball through the left side. That's going to snake in for a hit. Little comes home to score to make it 4-3 Miners. As Owen stops at second, Wallace with his second hit in 3 at-bats and his second RBI of the game. So the Miners take the lead back at 4-3. Basham, who had an RBI single to left his last time up and has flied out, is up now. Hoppers would love to get out of this inning without any further damage, and that pitch is low in the dirt. Ball one. Good block by Spear. I think you told me this one night when we were doing this years ago. You played a little baseball as a kid, right?
Oh, I did. I played. I saw Charlie Henderson coming in here, and he was a coach. I think about when I was 12. Him and Johnny Blaine, two of my favorite people.
Johnny Blaine.
I mean, they were such good coaches and such good guys. And
yep.
And I saw Mr. Billingsley down here. He was a coach. Jared and I played together in Pee Wee, and Mr. Billings was our coach there. And so I could tell these guys loved baseball, Todd, because they're still watching it.
Oh, yeah.
They're still around it.
Now, Mr. Billingsley is my cousin. He and my grandmother were related in Glasgow. So we are, and Holly and her sister and I are all cousins down the chain somewhere. Pitches a strike, 3-1. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a great family, man.
They are.
I had a lot of fun. Jared and I were really good friends growing up. And Tasha and Holly and Brian and all of them are such a great family.
3 balls, 1 strike the pitch. Here's a ball. What? Foul. Look out down there at third base. Coach had to do a little ballet act over there. The count 3-2.
It's funny because last time I saw Johnny, he was saying the same thing. He goes, man, you remember going and singing the anthem at all those games when you was a kid out there at Rupp Park, too?
Yeah.
I said, I still am doing it.
He's still doing it. There's a little royalty involved in some of that now, though. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's gotten better, Todd.
Yeah. Well, Johnny's daughter, Emmy, as you know, just graduated from UK, just finished up her last season. Yeah. I was fortunate enough this spring, while they were playing in Blacksburg in the NCAA, I went with Murray State and did their games. First ever trip to the regionals down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Here's a pop-up third base side, and that's going to get back out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Yeah, that college softball's good watching.
Oh, boy,
Man,
is it ever.
You talk about some great players and some great games.
We had a young lady at Murray by the name of Hannah James. She's out of Nicholasville. She was a junior this year. I called her 500th career strikeout in a game against Southeast Missouri back in the spring.
Very cool.
And, boy, she's a great pitcher. And then called a game where Murray State brought a freshman up by the name of Aaron Lackey in the bottom of the 7th to beat Austin Peay 2-1 one day. Fastball's up and in, ball 4. The bases are now loaded.
I tell you, I was a little bit let down at Tennessee's, year this year, man, to have that good of a team. And I don't know. I guess it's true. There's, going in there, the number 1 rated team. How long has it been since one of them made the World Series?
Oh, golly.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
I think you just snake bit if you're the number 1 seed going in there. But, man, they had a great ball team this year.
Gary Vaught will make his way from the Hopper dugout and go visit with Blevins. The Hoppers do have a left-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. And we'll see if he's bringing a hook along or if he's just going to buy some time for the bullpen to get loose. And that may be the case. He may just be buying the bullpen a moment or two. Because usually when they come with a hook. And the bullpen has not signaled whether or not they're ready. He's going to let Blevins at least pitch to one more batter, and I would suspect if Stroh does something here that we'll see a new pitcher for the Hoppers. Stroh has been hit by a pitch and flied to right. Great sliding catch it was by Ren Tachioka back in the 2nd inning for the final out. 4-3, Miners lead it here as we play in the top of inning 5. Hoppers will be off tomorrow as the pitch hit third base side and foul out of play. And then full counts in here Thursday. And then a road game on Friday. That get somebody?
They tried to catch it and fell down.
Oh, not good. And then Franklin will be in here Saturday night. The Doolers. 0-1 pitch. Low for a ball, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the top of the 5th with Madisonville with the 1-run lead at 4-3. Left-hand batter is Stroh with a slightly open stance. Good save by Spear on a pitch low in the dirt. 2-1 the count. Shadows have pretty much covered the field except over third base where Dupes is. He's still got to battle a little bit of the sun. Bruce, we almost didn't need our tarp tonight, but I guess it's good to have it up. Here's a ball corked in the air deep to right field, and Tachioka will watch it leave for a grand slam. How about that? That was a fastball right down Broadway. And Parker Stroh, who did not have a home run or an RBI all year, what a way to get it started with a grand slam to right. And Madisonville now leads this game 8-3. They have scored all their runs in their last 2 at-bats. Now Gary Vaught, or rather Tim Crow, is on his way out, and we will get a pitching change right here. So a break in the action for a new pitcher for the Hoppers. We're in the 5th on the Holiday Inn and Suites scoreboard. Your score is now Madisonville 8 and the Hoppers 3 on Hoppers Radio. And Kobe Jones will be the batter now for the Madisonville Miners. Hupp is out of Owensville, Indiana, and Spalding University in Louisville. And he will face Kobe Jones here in the 5th. Ball one is low and away. Madisonville on the grand slam by Parker Stroh, his first home run of the year, has the 8-3 lead in the top of the 5th. Pause in the pitch, and that's in the dirt low. 2 balls and no strikes.
That little Nixon, I bet he's run 100 miles since he's probably been picking up balls and bats.
Oh, or more. He gets after it, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Swing and a miss, and the count 2-1. There was a game, it's that game at Paducah, Bruce, that we were at that 16-inning game. The boy was getting a little tired at the end of the game chasing those foul balls and bats. He was a little whooped.
That's good.
2-1 pitch in the dirt, 3 balls and a strike.
The me and Todd were too.
Yeah, we were all tired that night.
I understand.
Ooh.
16 innings, man.
Calling
That's
the
a game
16-inning game. Woo-wee. Yep. Second longest game inning-wise in Hopper history as that pitch is ball 4 to Kobe Jones. That's the first walk allowed by Hupp, and here is Kriegel with 2 outs. The longest game was against Madisonville, an 18-inning game back in the 2015 season. As a matter of fact,
18 innings.
18
Y'all
innings.
played 2 games that night.
Played 2 games that night, that's for sure. Let's see. 18 innings on June 2nd of 2015. And the Hoppers won that one 4-2. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
They're going to pull this one out, too.
Yes, sir. We got a little work to do, but we can get it done. That game in Paducah that night was 5 hours and 25 minutes during early in the season. I can't remember, and I'd have to look it up in the box score, and I know I've got it somewhere.
Man.
How long that game was in Madisonville, but that's the longest baseball game I've ever sat through. 5 hours and 25 minutes. Pitches outside, 1-1. Bruce and I were ready to get us a cot and just lay out in the press box and go to sleep. We were like, let's get this over already. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. The pitch, here it is, swung on and missed. Matter of fact, I'll show you, Bryce. People in radio land can't see it, but you may have seen the picture the day after the game. Things were. See, my book only goes 15. I had to put the 16th inning out in the margins. I was in trouble that night, man. Pitches a ball, 2-2. 1 out in the inning, 1 on for Madisonville as they are having their 9th man at the plate here in the 5th. And lead here 8-3 over the homestanding Hoppers. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And finally, the inning is over here in the 5th. First strikeout for Cody Hupp. 4 runs on the grand slam. Actually make it 5 runs on the grand slam. And let's see, 1, 2, 3 hits, no errors. 1 man left. Madisonville is stranded 2. Middle of the 5th on the Holiday Inn and Suites scoreboard. Your score, Madisonville 8 and the Hoppers 3.
Thank you to all of our members who stopped by to see.
and WHOPAM.com.
Anthony Zarlingo bats in the bottom of the 5th against Bo Kaufman. Struck out his first time. And he takes ball 1 outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, let's see if my buddy, yeah, he's down there. I see Frankie G. Mr. Giles got his big white hat and his suit on.
Sharp dressed man.
Well, now, there were a couple of games recently when the weather was terrible, hot. Frankie would not have the sport coat on. And it was noted by those of us here on the perch.
That's good.
And the only time Frank has never worn a suit to a Hoppers game that I can recall, 2-0 to the plate, 3-0 as Kaufman misses way outside. was the night that he was the first base coach. He won a bid on an
cool.
item to be the first base coach. Yeah, and we put him in a Hoppers uniform
Very
at first
cool.
base. Yeah, I don't know how much coaching he did over there, but he was over there at first base. Yeah, that's the only time I can ever recall him not. And one night we had a rain delay in a game, and so I'm doing a little video about where we're in a rain delay, and I said, look what's going on here. And Frankie had the blower out, and he was blowing the water off the bleachers so people could sit on the bleacher.
That's a good feller.
There he is. Loves his hoppers, does Frankie G. 3-0 pitch, strike called, and the count 3-1 to Zarlingo. Bryce Long's been joining us in the booth tonight. We are having a great time.
Yes, we are. It's a super great night. Weather's fantastic. We just need these hoppers to pull out of this little hole they're in.
Yes, sir. Well, maybe this is a start as Zarlingo reaches on a walk. And here comes our man Rin Tachioka from Satayama, Japan. He is the longest distance mileage-wise player to ever play for the Hoppers, over 6,500 miles.
Wow.
Now, the first year the Hoppers were here, we had a kid from Brazil by the name of Fernando Tanaka. And at that time, it was like 3,200 miles from here to Brazil. Tachioka shows bunt, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Kaufman still working in his first start for the Miners. They do have some activity stirring around in their bullpen, as he may be on a pitch count. Ball one is inside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 8-3, Madisonville leads it. They got 5 in the 5th, including a grand slam from Parker Stroh. The pitch. Ball is outside, 2-1. Now we'll have time as we'll get a visit by the Madisonville pitching coach at the mound.
And don't forget to get your 50-50 raffle tickets and get your bids.
And don't forget to bid on those jerseys. We haven't seen a new update in a little while, but we hope to see one here in just a little bit. Ross Capone is the pitching coach for Madisonville, and he was just out talking to his pitcher.
T-shirts and hats, $20 tonight. Christmas special.
Uh-oh, Bruce has gone to bid on a jersey again. Attaboy. Here's a ball lifted in the air to center by Tachioka. Drifting back a few steps is Jones, and he will make the catch for the out. Tachioka retired for out number 1. Batter now is Joshua Rodriguez. J-Rod has popped the short and has grounded out to the shortstop also.
Batting the shortstop number 7, Joshua Rodriguez.
J-Rod stands in. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Joshua Rodriguez. Yeah, the first night I met him at Meet the Hoppers, he said to me, he says, I want to be called J-Rod. I said, yes, sir. I got you,
Noted.
buddy. It was noted. Sure was. What a nice young man he is, though. Pitches a ball low, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. All these guys, truly nice. Always enjoy going down in the dugout before the game and say hello to everybody. Here's a pitch. Curveball strike, and the count 1-2 to J-Rod.
That looked a little outside to me, Tom.
Yeah, it might have been just a little bit outside. Might have been. Might have been. Here's a ball lifted in the air by Rodriguez.
All right.
It's going to fall in front of Kobe Jones for a 1-out single. Rodriguez will be at first. Zarlingo moves to second, and the hitter now will be Vergara, who's had a home run and the ground rule double. Vergara stepping to the plate, and he is out of Columbia and the University of Indianapolis. And Fred Fernandez, who will bat a couple of guys down the order, is from Venezuela. So we do have a bit of an international flavor on this team. Kaufman's first pitch is down and away, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. I asked Melanie if she liked me telling the shake story a while ago, and I get this emoji back with big eyes, and then the other one with a hand over the mouth. So I struck a chord somewhere, Bryce.
That's right.
1-1 to count to the batter Vergara as that last pitch fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and here's another foul out of play. Now, do you still speak? You were talking about PBR a while ago. You still do any of that on television, or?
No, I haven't done it in a little while, Todd.
Yeah.
They moved all that stuff out to Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing it there in Nashville, right across from my publisher where I was writing my office and stuff. And yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was different. It was something different to do, and I enjoyed it. But honestly, I don't really miss it. It was fun, though. I had a good time.
Sure.
It's what I love that world so much, and
sure.
got so many friends in it. It was cool to do for sure, and it was something different. I'd never done it, and they asked me to do it, and I did enjoy it for sure.
1-2 to the plate. Vergara takes inside 2-2. Hoppers batting in the home fifth, trailing 8-3 to the Madisonville Miners. Country Christmas night at the park. That voice is Bryce Long. If you don't know whom it is,
that's right. Come on out Saturday night, July 9th.
Yes, sir. Strike 3 called. Good curveball to Vergara. And that is the second out of the inning. The batter now will be Brown, who has struck out twice tonight. Yep. Folks, I will tell you, and I have been to some of these shows over the years, they're really a lot of fun. Really neat to hear the stories about how some of these songs came to be.
Absolutely, Todd. And it'll be another great night Saturday, and with some great songwriters, and myself as well, playing full band this year, which is going to be fun in the Alhambra. And people can get their tickets at PennyrollArts.org. So grab them up while you can and come on out, hang out with us. It's going to be a fun night.
I'm
and,
planning
a lot
to
of
be
good
there.
entertainment.
I'm planning to be there.
Good.
Curveball is ball one, low and away.
You and Melanie going to get a shake before y'all come?
we might have to. Now, see, Melanie, he's put you on the spot too. Now you got to come down for this.
That's right.
1-0 pitch, called strike, and the count 1-1.
Can't talk your way out of it now.
Can't talk your way out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, when the star says come, you got to come. Yeah.
That's right. I want to meet her.
Okay. We'll get that done one way or the other. 1-2 or 1-1 pitches swung on and missed. It's 1-2. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a reply to come back on that, Bryce. There'll probably be a reply here in a minute, in some form or another. 1-2 the count. Yes, I am blushing. Bryce can attest to it. I am blushing. I am blushing. I am blushing. She loves to get me to blush on the air. Oh, has so much fun doing it. My old buddy Bob Jameson, former Major League announcer, one night said to me, we were doing the game over South Warren, he said, gee, you sure are talking a lot about Melanie, and all of a sudden, boy, the fireworks open. Fastball is outside 2-2. She said, what'd he say? What'd he say? He said, I'm talking a lot about you, and said, blushing is good for the circulation.
That's right. You know it's moving.
That's right. Deuces are wild on the board with 2 outs and 2 on for the Hoppers, and Brown strikes out swinging for the 3rd time tonight. Well, the Hoppers get a couple of men on, but they can't bring them in. 1 hit, 2 runners left. Hoppers have stranded 4. Holiday Inn and Suite scoreboard, we are through 5. Madisonville 8 and the Hoppers 3. Let's pause for a moment.
Madisonville. Shortstop number 21, Evan Liddy.
Well, we go to the 6th. Evan Little leads things off. He's 1 for 3. Came in as the league's leading batter tonight at .389. He and J-Rod have had quite an interesting race with that. Cody Hupp's first pitch is ball 1 inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Hupp like Rupp with an H. 1-0 pitch, here it is. Strike called and the count 1-1. Next pitch is to the screen, 2-1 to count. I was going to say, I was watching Nixon there. Look at him. He looked like he was ready to pounce on it, and he said, "Now let the umpire get that one."
Boy, he looks like a little ball player.
He does, doesn't he? He
Yes,
plays
does.
ball.
I can tell.
His team was in, I think it's the Christian County Cubs. They're the 8U.
Oh, cool.
They were in the state tournament this past weekend.
All right.
They lost on Sunday. Three balls and a strike to count to Evan Little. Nobody out, the pitch. And Hupp delivers low, ball 4. Little is on a walk to lead off the 6th. That's the second walk allowed by Hupp. And the hitter now will be Luke Mitchell, who's popped the second, had a single, and has grounded to short. He is 1 for 3. Miners scored 5 times in the 5th, 4 of them on a grand slam by Parker Stroh. Uh-oh, Bruce is back.
All right.
Hot off the press.
I'm not going to admit it, but I've got 3 of those.
First throw of the first and the runner back. You can text or call and bid on the jerseys, by the way. We just got that number. 270-484-1470 is the number to call. Nixon's jersey's now at 150. Ron Brown, 125. We're just mentioning some of the higher ones. Not that we're trying to slight anybody. Zach Duane is still up at 500. Chase Harlan, 150. Tachioka's 110. Zarlingo's at 30. Hupp's at 50. Moss at 40. Rodriguez, J-Rod, is 65 as that pitch is a strike. And Dilday is at 45. Chase Harlan's 150. Number 10, which is vacated, is 30. Hayden is 11. Spear is 35. Gavin Baxter's is at $200. Fred Fernandez, 45. Drew Donaldson's is at 30. Vergara, 35. David Ernst at 70. Oakley Albinson at 30. E.J. Alanis at 50. Number 20, which is vacated, 35. Lyle is at 35. Dupes at 50. Janier at 30. Smith at 75 as that pitch hits the batter. Runner was going anyway, but doesn't matter now. The hit batsman puts 2 on and nobody out for Madisonville, and Lindsay coming to the plate. Duenas at 500. 26, which is a vacated number, at 30. Sullivan is at 40. Blevins at 35. Cornwell at 35. Brown at 30. Sargent at 40. Goodpasture 64. Mentioned Ron Brown, 125. Stitches at 50. Nixon's at 150. The new black is at 30. And the new red's at 45. If anybody's down there listening close, would you go put a $40 bid for me on the black jersey? If somebody's down there close by and can do that, strike called, and the count 0-1. Put me a bid on that, Bruce, when you go. I know Bruce will take care of it. He's the man. Strike called, and the count is 0-1. Oh, Bryce, we done started something. Oh, boy, did we start something. I done got a text back that says somebody saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I'll hear about this on the way to Murray tonight, I promise you. Pitch is in the dirt. And the
good.
count 2-1.
Oh,
a throwback to second. J-Rod tried to put the tag on the lead runner and didn't get him. Time is now called. Boy, Spear popped that down there. It didn't look like it was going to second. And then all of a sudden, he just said, I'm going to take a chance here. And, well, about got the tag on it. 2-1, the count to the batter, Jackson Lindsay. Yeah, I'd say I will get 2 or 3 ears full, hopefully in a positive way, going back home tonight. Here's a liner to left, and let's see, not caught. Ball is dropped now and gets away from the left fielder, Vergara. 1 run's going to score. Stopping at third is going to be Mitchell, and the Miners add another one, and it's 9-3 Madisonville. We'll see how that is scored, if that will be a hit and an error or if that will be a solid double all the way through. We'll check our handy-dandy scoring buddies here and see what they say. That's a double and an RBI. So a 2-base hit for Lindsay and a run batted in. That's his 14th of the year, by the way. Here is Owen, who's hit into a fielder's choice. Fly to center, popped to short. Here's a pitch. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center for a hit, and it's now 10-3. Mitchell will score as that ball retrieved by Zarlingo, and Owen has himself an RBI. But there's nothing like having a little fun at the ballpark. I mean, come on now. We have to have a little fun every now and then.
Right. There's a lot to be had out here.
Yes, sir. Raising a bunch of good money tonight for back-to-back with the jerseys. And if I know they're doing split the pot in the stands, and the money that's split with the winner will also go to back-to-back. 328 since we were talking about crowds a little earlier. 328.
328, that's good.
Is our attendance figure for the evening. Nice job on Country Christmas night, folks. I thought there was you I'm sure have watched the show Law and Order. That's the dun dun is my text tone, and I thought I had heard it pop off again with a check-in, but was not. Pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to the batter, Wallace. Here's a ball. Second, short, first, not in time. Oh, we're getting our picture made? Greer got us. Atta girl.
Thank you.
I didn't know what you was doing over there for a minute. You throwing me off there. we're just having too much fun at the ball game.
That's right.
Man. That's right.
Third base number 7.
Here's Basham. And let's see, the Miners have a runner at first base with 2 outs. Lindsay is at third. And he actually scored on the play to make it now an 11-3 ball game. Pitches a foul. Wallace is aboard at first. He will get an RBI. And that scored as a fielder's choice. And Owen is out at second base. 6 unassisted. Ground ball. Second baseman shovels it to first in time on a play.
Nice play.
Holy Moses, that was Donaldson giving a quick shovel to Brown.
That was a lot of hustle there, Todd.
Boy,
that was. A heck of a good play, man.
No doubt. 3 runs in the inning for Madisonville, and they do it on 1-2 base hits. No errors, a runner left. They've stranded 3. Oh, we still got a batter up. It's only 2 down. See, I'm jumping ahead of myself here, Bryce.
You're going to need more of that white out.
I'm going to need more of that white out. Yeah.
Well, that YouTube
it might be a little sickness, too, you know.
Gotcha.
You understand.
I do.
You've written a song or two about that, I'm sure.
Yep. That the feed over here looks fantastic,
doesn't
it? It really does.
Yeah. YouTube.
It's really cool.
We put it on YouTube this year. They can't catch the announcer cheating no more. That's for sure. I get caught cheating a lot. Strike called, 1-1. But we have a lot of folks that watch that way, and we appreciate that. They get our audio on home games. And we have made a couple of road appearances this year.
Ooh.
Here's a ball hard hit to short. J-Rod had it, couldn't hang on to it, and everybody's safe. Moving to third on the play is going to be Wallace. And Parker Stroh reaches base for the third time in as many at-bats. And the hitter now will be Kobe Jones, who's flied to center, had an RBI single, and is also walked.
Batting center fielder number 1, Kobe Jones.
Let's see, I got to write back to this. Know the feeling. There we go. Strike one to the batter, Jones. The error charged to Rodriguez on the last play. Foul ball at the plate. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. 46th error of the season for the Hoppers. That's their first of the night, by the way. Jones, the 8th man to bat in the inning. Madisonville's about to bat around for the second inning in as many, but not to be, as a strikeout for Cody Hupp, and that will end the inning. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left. Madisonville has stranded 4. We go to the bottom of the 6th on the Holiday Inn and Suites scoreboard. Your score is now Madisonville 11 and the Hoppers 3.
Funny to hear that Christmas music right in the middle of the summer, isn't it?
Oh, boy.
I'm Sue Badger, branch manager of the
I think I am, is the hometown of John Calipari,
Second baseman number 15.
where he grew up.
Wow.
Drew Donaldson will lead off the 6th. He walked and scored in the 2nd, grounded the 2nd in the 4th.
Getting all kinds of education up here with Utah.
Well,
I love it.
I don't
I love
know
it.
all of it, but we do pull out a few random wild facts every now and then.
You ever watch Jeopardy much?
Oh, I have. Yep. You know, speaking of that, as Goebel's first pitch is ball 1, you know, someone I used to work with here at WHOP years ago actually tried to get on Jeopardy one time. Here's a 1-0. Strike call 1-1, Jim Love.
I believe it. I knew that's who you were going to say. I believe it.
He knew more
Facts
stuff
than any. Yeah.
Oh.
That's exactly. I knew that's who you were going to say.
Yeah. Tell you a great Jim Love story. Here's a pitch, and that's strike 2. We were on this deck, as a matter of fact. Hoptown was playing a baseball game over here one day, and he came over, and he was sitting down the first base side, and I said, if you want to come up, come on. Well, he came in about the 2nd inning, and there was very little play-by-play the rest of the way in that game. It was Jim Love spouting facts about all kinds of things. It was unreal, boy.
I tell you, him and Dink were special together.
Yes, they were.
They were super good.
Oh, that pitch is going to hit Donaldson, and he'll go down to first base. Yeah, a lot of times in the days when he was with us, I would run a sports quiz question by him because I thought, if Jim Love can answer this Anybody can answer it. And most of the time, he was pretty good at it. I mean,
he
was
a smart man.
Oh, man.
Sure. He had a lot of knowledge of a lot of things.
Well, bless your heart for saying something there. Ground ball, short, second to short one, back to first, and that's a double play. Madisonville turns its 11th double play. Kriegel, Little, and Owen combine on it. 2 down quickly, and Jacob Dupes will be the hitter. I was just saying here that bless your heart, because Bryce just put a note on Twitter about being here with us. Man, this is good stuff. Oh, man. Oh, look here. That's a great picture, man.
Yeah. Man, good picture of it.
As Lester Roadhog Moran said about Red and Wesley in that album, you've heard that album, I'm sure. Them boys are favorites wherever they go.
Wherever they go.
1 strike to the batter, Jacob Dupes. Now the pitch. That's low and away. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm going to have to save this picture. Oh, I know what I can do one better than this. Look here.
Yeah.
We're going to send that on. Miss Mel's got to see this picture. That's a curveball strike. And the count 1-2. Get to see us boys doing our thing. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The pitch. Strike 3 called. That's a great pitch by Goebel, a curveball. That's his first strikeout of the night. And the Hoppers are gone quietly in the 6th. We're going to move to the 7th now. On the Holiday Inn and Suites Convention Center scoreboard, after 6, it's the Miners 11 and the Hoppers 3. Short end of an 11-3 score to Madisonville, but we're doing a lot of great things tonight here. We've been auctioning jerseys and raising money for the Back-to-Back Foundation. Hoppers have a new pitcher coming on here in the 7th inning. It'll be Blake Sargent out of Lafayette, Indiana, and the University of Indianapolis. Sargent, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Hoppers here in the 7th inning. And let's see, I think I got his stats somewhere here close by. Yep. All right, Sargent, 15.95 ERA, 1-3 on the year, 9th appearance all in relief, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 13 runs, all earned, 11 walks, 10 strikeouts. Teams are hitting at .333 against him. And here is Gavin Kriegel, who has struck out, grounded back to the pitcher, and flied out 0 for 3. Tied a ball, and the count 1-0. Well, I got a message back on the picture. Miss Melanie says we are so adorable up here in the booth. Appreciate that.
I knew I liked her.
Yeah. Well, I hope you do, and we will figure out a way to do it. We'll get you two introduced here sometime very soon.
That'd be awesome.
She is a special lady, I promise you that.
I'm still gonna keep. I hope I get to see her Saturday night.
I hope you do too. No pressure, Mel.
Try it. No pressure.
No pressure. 2-0 pitch. Tight a ball. It's 3-0. Like I said, I'll probably get an earful about that going home to Murray tonight. I kid you not. We have had telephone conversations go 4 and 5 hours talking about all the people.
It's like you back in high school.
Oh, what are you talking about? Pitch is ball 4, and Kriegel is on with a walk. Back to the top of the order, and Little, who has walked, singled, and scored, grounded out twice. But we talk about, because we had all the same teachers, okay? Mm-hmm. And there were people in her class that I knew, and there were people in my class that knew of them. So her class, so we interchange and talk about all. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's great stuff, man. I'm telling you. Sergeant from the stretch delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Stitch is making his way back around.
Yeah, he going to make his way back around. Bruce, you did get me taken care of on Jersey, didn't you?
Yep.
Did you bid some more for yourself, Bruce? On one, okay.
He said he did. He took care of you, Todd. He doubled yours.
oh no! Now he don't know what ball callers make to do.
He said he knew it was going to a good cause, so he went ahead and doubled it.
He doubled it. He doubled it. I love it. I love it. 1 ball, 1 strike as the pitch is in the dirt. Oh man! But it will be prominently worn at a future Hoppers game if we're fortunate enough to get it. Here's a pitch down and in. There was one year we had a set of jerseys that we were bidding on, and I was feeling so good about my bid. I thought, oh, man, I got this jersey. And Mark Stevens, of all people, beat me out on it, man. But I was so happy. I was feeling so good about my bid. And here's a pitch outside. It's 3-1. I know why he wanted that jersey, though. It was worn by a fellow who spent a little time in Hopkinsville in 2016 when his son played here, by the name of Chase Maddox.
Oh.
His dad was Greg Maddox.
Yes.
The former great pitcher of the Atlanta Braves.
What a great pitcher.
And the pitch is a ball, ball 4. Back-to-back walks by Sargent. Put him at first and second. Nobody out. For Luke Mitchell, who's up, he is 1 for 3 with a hit batsman and run scored. Now, a little story about Greg Maddox, and I put this video up before. I've done it on his birthday a couple times. 50-year-old Greg Maddox, this was 6 years ago, pitched batting practice one night here to the boys before a playoff game. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And at 50 years old, he was still bringing it.
I bet he
Those boys could not hit his breaking ball. And you know, when he pitched, he'd like to nip the corners with the curve and stuff like that. Well, Chase was just like him. But, man, he was doing it in batting practice that night. Those kids would come out of there, and they'd be shaking their heads. They just looked. They said,
got him a taste of the big leagues.
Oh, they'd say, the old man still got it.
That's good.
And he loved, Greg Maddox, to talk pitching. You could talk pitching. Of course, his brother is the pitching coach for the St. Louis Cardinals, Mike Maddox. But he loved to talk pitching. I had him on one night in a rain delay, and we got to talking about pitching. And it was just fascinating to hear him talk about the mechanics of it and all.
Boy, he was good. Golly.
1-0 pitch is a strike in the count, 1-1. When he was with the Cubs in '89, he pitched with a fellow from Bowling Green by the name of Paul Kilgus. And I got him hooked up again. I said, I know one of your old Cub teammates. And he said, really, who? And I said, Paul Kilgus. I got him hooked up.
Oh, good.
Here's a ball hitting the air to the left, and that's going to be up against the fence. Round third, coming home to score is going to be Kriegel to make it 12-3 in favor of the Miners. Stopping at second will be Little. It's a long single for Mitchell and a run batted in. So the Miners have scored all 12 of their runs in their last 4 at-bats here. And here's Lindsey, who had a double and scored in the last inning. He's walked, had a fielder's choice and scored, and has hit a ground ball, or had an infield hit rather, his last time up. Let's see here. Don't want to forget to do this because this is very important in the 7th inning stretch. Ball 1 is low in the dirt. 1 ball and no strike. Hoppers trail by the count of 12-3 here in the 7th. It was an interesting game for a while at 3-3, and then the Miners scored 5 times, including a grand slam as that pitches a strike by Parker Stroh in the 5th, and then they scored 3 more in the 6th. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Well, let's see. Yes, sir, Mr. Brockman, you are right about that. Tab Brockman checking in. Former Louis, I forgot that Paul Kilgus pitched for the Redbirds for a period of time when Tab was there as the GM, or assistant GM. 2-1. And you may not know this, Bryce. A lot of our listeners do. And, of course, I know Tab knows because he was the guy there at the time. You've heard of a fella as this pitch comes in and it's fouled at a play, 2-2. You've heard of a fella by the name of Joe Buck. Who's going to get a big bunch of money to do Monday Night Football this year? Okay. When Joe Buck left Louisville after the 1990 season to go join his dad, Jack, in St. Louis and do the Cardinal games, I was one of the last 2 to take his place.
Oh, wow.
I was a finalist to take his place. Here's a ball hit towards short. J-Rod comes up with it. Second one. What a play by J-Rod. Oh, boy. Now, I'm going to tell you, Bryce Long, he has made plays like that all season long.
Well, that was pretty stylish play right there.
Oh.
What a catch.
He did a nice job on that one hopper getting it to Donaldson for the out, 1 out in the inning.
That Joe Buck's good too, man.
Yes,
Golly,
sir.
He does a great job.
Yes, sir. I had a chance to interview Jack in Nashville many years ago when the Cardinals were playing an exhibition game, and that one hits the batter. So Owen will go down to first base, and that loads the bases up right here again for the Miners. And here's Ryan Wallace, who hit into a fielder's choice to bring home a run in the last inning. Singled, brought in a run and scored in the 5th. Doubled and brought in a run in the 4th, and is lined to left. He is having a pretty good night up there at 2 for 4, and Gary Vaught's got a long walk to the mound, and let's see. Don't think we have anybody yet in the bullpen, but there may either be somebody ready in the dugout, and there's somebody ready in the dugout. So we're going to take a little break in the action here in the 7th inning, and on the Holiday Inn and Suites scoreboard as we get the new pitcher on for the Madisonville Miners. Your score is the Madisonville Miners 12 and the Hoptown Hoppers 3. Water, Florida, and Towson University.
Big time, I heard.
Albinson, one of the taller players on this team at 6'5". Now, Bryce, you're a tall guy. You would appreciate this. The tallest player we have on this team is 6'9", Zach Duenas. We've had 6'4", 6'2", 6'5", 6'7". We would look good walking through an airport.
You're not kidding.
Everybody think we're a basketball team.
That's what I was going to say.
Going through the airport, you know.
6'9", golly.
Yeah.
That's tall.
And he can be a little intimidating out there on the mound, too. So Albinson will face Wallace. 1 out, and the bases are full of Miners here in the 7th inning. As they lead here 12-3. Albinson will work out of a stretch. The check and the pitch. Ball 1 is outside. Yeah, when they had Meet the Hoppers night and all these tall guys start standing up, that's the first thing Gary Vaught said. He said, yeah, we might be a good-looking basketball team going through an airport. Yeah, and all these tall guys. I was like, wow. 1-0 pitch.
I see folks, Todd, now reaching for their jackets and stuff, putting them on.
Yeah, but it's very comfortable out here. Yeah, could have brought a sweatshirt. Yeah, Greer's right. We could have brought it. 69
Greer's
out
getting
here.
Chilly
now.
Over here.
Yep. Here's a ball flared in the air toward left. That's going to be a hit, and that's going to bring home one more run for Madisonville. It's now 13-3. Lindsey to third, Owen to second base, and an RBI single for Wallace. And the batter will be James Basham, who's had a ground out, walked and scored, singled in a run and scored in the 4th, and has flied out to right tonight. Really, the 5th inning has been kind of the backbreaker for the Hoppers when they gave up the grand slam. 1 away. Middle infielders look for a double play ball. Pitches tight ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch is a called strike. And the count is 1-1. Thank you, Ryan, on Twitter. Wanted to tell us that we sound great together up here, me and Bryce. We appreciate that.
I'm hanging on here. Listen to a pro do his job.
Here's a pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and it's now 14-3 as Lindsey comes home to score on a wild pitch, and the runners will all move up a base. 14-3 in favor of the Miners here. Now the Miners have played 2 of these run rule games. They are 1-1. The Hoppers are 2-1. And it's like high school. If you get 10 or more by the 7th inning, they just stop the game. And the pitch, it's like a mercy rule. 2-0 the count, or 2-2 the count, I should say. Yeah. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 14-3 Madisonville as we play in the 7th. The pause in the pitch. And that's a ball hit to first, and a good play there by Ron Brown on the soft liner for the 2nd out. It'll be up to Parker Stroh, who's had a grand slam, reached on an error, flied to right. A great catch by Tachioka to take away a hit. And he's also been hit by a pitch. Fourteen to 3, Madisonville leads it. The pitch. Ball 1 is outside to Parker Stroh. Madisonville, if it stays the way it is, will even up the season series. These two could meet again way down the road in the finals. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. The Hoppers would still lead the all-time series. One ball, one strike. Albinson pauses and delivers. That's in the dirt. And that's going to bring home another run, and it's 15-3. Wild pitches have plagued the Hoppers during the course of the season. And they're plaguing them tonight here in this game, as it's now 15-3. Yeah, Bruce has gone back to, he's bidding on jerseys again.
He's making sure
Miss Greer Givens has got it all under control up here on Hoppers TV now.
She is rocking.
She is doing it. Outside, 3-1. Yeah, when she came up to the booth tonight, up here tonight, Bryce, we hadn't seen her in a couple of weeks. And I said, "Now you are," and she thought I was being serious. I said, "No, I'm just messing with you."
It's been 2 weeks, I forget.
Yeah, he's been 2 weeks. Yeah. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch, low and inside, ball 4. That's 2 outs actually, and another walk. Well, Kobe Jones will become the 9th man to bat in the inning.
Center field number 1, Kobe Jones.
Jones has struck out, walked, had an RBI single, and has flied to center. (15-3), Madisonville leads here in the 7th. The pitch. Ball 1 is outside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. Oh, I got to like that tweet too, Bryce. You just did, and I will also, that Ryan sent us. We appreciate that. Absolutely. Absolutely. 1-0 pitch is corked in the air to right. And Tachioka won't get it. It's up against the fence. And the bases may get cleaned here. Not quite. They'll get 1 run out of it as Wallace comes home to score to make it 16-3. Stroh ends up at third. It's a double into the right field corner for Jones, and he'll pick up an RBI. And the Miners will bat some more here in the 7th, as it will be Gavin Kriegel who started all this with a walk and scored what was Madisonville's 12th run earlier in the inning. 16-3, the Miners lead it here. Now the pitch. Strike called and the count 0-1. Now the 0-1. That one's in the dirt, going all the way to the screen, and it's 17-3. Well, tough night for the homestanders here, boy. Madisonville has scored 3 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here in the 7th. And a runner at third base. And here's a ball, handcuffed by the third baseman a little. Throw to first, though, will be in time for the out. Nice work over there by Dupes, and finally the 7th inning is over. Madisonville scores 6 times to take the lead out to the count of 17-3 over the Hoppers on the Holiday Inn and Suites scoreboard. And you know him, you love him. Here he is, Harry.
All right.
Got to get Harry in there, man. Bryce is going to depart us, but thank you for
I'm
stopping
headed
by
out,
and
Todd.
staying around a
Man.
while, pal. I know a lot of times you're in and out and have to have other obligations, but bless your
Absolutely.
heart. We appreciate you coming up
Man,
and
I'm so
spending
glad
some
to be
time
here.
with us.
Glad to do the anthem. Appreciate so much what they're doing here to help support Back to Back and the families and in the communities of Christian Trigg and Todd that we help. And man, thank you. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, Todd. It's a pleasure to sit and listen to you do what you do, my friend.
Well, you're welcome anytime. I promise you. You're
so
welcome
good.
anytime to come up. And as we say, look forward to being with you on the 9th.
Yes, sir. I invite everybody out. Get your tickets, PenarolArts.org, and we'll see you on Saturday night here in town.
I'll see you then.
Yes, sir.
And again, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bless
Todd.
your heart.
Appreciate you, pal.
All right. Bryce Long has joined us tonight. We've been so glad to have him along. Here's a base hit out in the left field. Will Spear gets the 7th started with a single to left. I tell you what, that's one of the funnest nights
Number 27,
that we have.
Sean Sullivan.
As Sean Sullivan coming on to pinch hit for Zarlingo here in the 7th. We always enjoy it when Bryce comes by to visit. And as we say, he usually comes and stays an inning or two, but wow, so nice to have him come stay for a good while with us tonight. Franklin College is where Sullivan is out of as he comes to the plate. The Hoppers are down 17-3 in the 7th inning. The pitch on the way. Strike called, and the count 0-1 to Sullivan. Sullivan hitting at .321, 2 homers and 5 batted in. Next pitch down and away, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the pitch, 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike, swing and a miss. Count evens to Sullivan at 2-2. Pitches a ball, and the count now 3-2. The string is out to Sullivan. Strike 3 called. Sullivan out on strikes. Fastball on the inside part of the plate from Goebel. 1 down in the 7th.
Pinch hitting for the Hoppers, number 9, Chase Harlan.
Chase Harlan will pinch hit here for Tachioka in the 7th inning.
Everything going up, that means all on you.
17-3, Miners in front. The pitch. Low and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Chase Harlan, the pinch hitter for the Hoppers. Harlan hitting at .263 with 2 runs batted in. The pitch. That's inside. 1, or make that 2 balls and no strikes. .2-0 pitch outside, ball 3, throw down to first, and the runner is back. Pitch is ball 4, and we have runners now at first and second.
Pinch hitting for the Hoppers, Smitty, number 24.
Anthony Smith will pinch hit here for J-Rod.
We'll take an opportunity to thank Nancy Dukes, mom of Jacob Dukes, for providing the post-game meal tonight. Nancy Dukes, thank you so much. And we do want to mention parents of Greg Lau provided the post-game meal Saturday at Bowling Green. We sure do appreciate the parents of Greg Lau.
That is a really good. Greer, you did a nice job. That's a great picture. Hey, you did great on that picture of Bryce and me. Pitches a called strike and the count 0-1. She is the TV whiz tonight on Hopper's TV. 1 strike pitch, swing and a miss, and the count now is 0-2. 1 out here in the 7th. The Hoppers very much on the short end of a 17-3 score. Hoppers will be back home Thursday night to play full count. Bikes and More, the sponsor then. Here's a ball hit first base side, drifting foul out of play. And the count now is 0-2. We're in the duskness of the night. And man, it's hard to believe we're already in the 7th inning. Two strikes and 1 out. Pause and the pitch in the dirt. And the runners were a little hesitant about going because Stroh got back to the ball quickly and was able to bring it in. Here's a ball fouled back. And the count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Again, special thanks to our friend Bryce Long for spending a great amount of time with us tonight. And Smith is hit by a pitch, and the bases are now loaded.
Nobody claimed to split the pot, so we're drawing another ticket at the end of the half inning. So don't leave yet.
Vergara, who's had a home run, a double, called out on strikes, is up. Nixon delivering some baseballs and getting a 5 from Vergara and getting the bat. The boy is busy. Hoppers have the bases loaded. They need to score at least 5 to keep this game going. Pitches a strike to Vergara, and the count is 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-2. Two strikes and 1 out, bases loaded. The pitch, Vergara takes strike 3 called on the inside corner. Second time Vergara has gone down on strikes. 2 down in the inning, and that for Goebel is his 3rd strikeout of the night in relief.
Pinch hitter is number 23, Luke Janier.
Luke Janier will pinch hit now for the first baseman, Brown. Janier comes to the plate. Hitting at 286. No homers, no runs batted in. Janier has appeared in 9 games and has 5 starts to his credit. Pitches a strike, and the count is 0-1. One strike. Here's a pitch in the dirt. They won't even attempt to throw to the plate. And Spear will score on a wild pitch to make it 17-4. Harlan moves to 3rd. Smitty moves down to 2nd. And the Hoppers, for the first time since the 1st inning, have scored a run. Pitch is high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. To Luke Janier, pinch hitting for Ron Brown here in the 7th. Now the pitch slowing away. 2 outs in the inning. 3-1. The count to the batter, Luke Janier. Drew Donaldson is scheduled to be next. Now the pitch. Strike called, and the string is out at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pause in the pitch. That is ball 4, and that will load the bases again. Second walk for the reliever, Goebel.
Pinch hitter, once again for the Hoppers, a pinch hitter. Number 29, Connor Cornwell.
Connor Cornwell, who just came to the ball club on Sunday out of Saginaw Valley State, will pinch hit here in the 7th inning. Cornwell has appeared in 1 game. That was on Sunday. He went 0 for 4. Hoppers have won 2 of their last 3 coming in. Lost on Sunday night to Fulton, beat Louisville last night, and then full count on Saturday night. So they're about to go back to even 2 of their last 4 as that pitch is ball 1. The Madisonville pitching staff has held the Hoppers to 4 hits, and at 300, the pitches are called strike 1-1. The Hoppers did have, coming into tonight, the highest batting average in the OVL. There's a foul ball, and the count now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded here in the home 7th. 17-4. Madisonville in front. The pitch. Did he go? Strike 3 called, and that is your ball game at 8:57. 2 hours and 27 minutes to play it. As Cornwell called out on strikes to end the game. 4 strikeouts for the reliever Goebel. In the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left, and the Hoppers strand 7. Your final score in 7 innings tonight, the Madisonville Miners 17, the Hoptown Hoppers 4. Postgame comes your way from Tiger Field in just a couple of minutes on News Radio WHOP and WHOPAM.com, presented by Chick-fil-A.